A top CDC official resigned. And in his resignation letter, he wrote a bunch of stuff in it. And and Scott is dismissing everything he wrote because he also wrote in his resignation letter the term birthing person.
Stuff that affects real people's lives, vaccines,
We're in national immunization awareness.
Immunization.
I hear the criticism from this person. I just have to say, he did use the term pregnant people in his resignation letter.
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry. If that is like the way you're presenting information, I have questions about your credibility.
Scott, it's so amazing.
It's not a ruse. He really wrote it down.
It's a ruse because people are dying.
This guy's not credible to me. That's all I'm telling you.
Scott, are you serious?
Come on.
He is not credible.
No. Are you serious that this is
yes, he did write it.
That of all the things that we're talking about here, immunizations, vaccines, autism, the research on communicable diseases, on cancer, and you are the most concerned about someone's use of the word people.
Yeah, because
that's the most important thing.
Because you were just complaining about the politicization of science, and I can't think of politicization of science more than that, or of what some of these people said to the American people during COVID. So the credibility of some of these folks who are complaining. Look.
Okay, so
I'm complaining, and I'm a public health and preventive medicine physician. We in the NAACP are complaining, right? And we are an iconic civil rights and human rights organization. There is reason to complain, Scott. You have a person who, during his confirmation hearings, said that black people had a different immune system, that we should follow a different immunization schedule. You have a person who has spent his life undermining science, credible science. The people who walked out of the CDC, the people who resigned, these are not flippant folks. These are not people who did this on the slight of a turn. These are people who dedicated their livelihoods, who dedicated their hearts and their expertise to safeguarding the health of all Americans. And now we are compromised, not just from a health and well-being standpoint, but from a national security standpoint. What's going to happen when the next outbreak or pandemic arrives?
Play this because Scott seems to think that RFK Jr., who says things like this, is more credible than people who have degrees.
I literally didn't say
in the subject.
I didn't say. Why are you saying I said that?
I
didn't say that.
When I was a kid, and I know what a healthy child is supposed to look like. I'm looking at kids as I walk through the airports today, as I walk down the street, and I see these kids that are just overburdened with mitochondrial challenges, with inflammation. You can tell from their faces, from their body movements, and from their lack of social connection. And I know that that's not how our children are supposed to look.
Science. Hashtag science. This is why Ajish Shah said, this is wacky flat earth voodoo stuff. Please, Peter Hotez, please send a few introductory biology textbooks to the Department of HHS. I mean, look, the reason, Scott, I said what I said is because rather than you seriously answering a question about the real concerns that were raised by these officials about the bending of science to the will of that guy, you decided that the most important thing to you was their lack of credibility because they used the word people. I mean, I just think I understand the rhetoric and the political.
You realize that you're accepting some politicization of science, but not others, right?
What's the politicization of science that's been accepted?
Can men get pregnant or not?
Scott,
if you're in the CDC, you believe that, I'm saying you're not a terribly credible person.
The CDC that is responsible for the health and well-being of the nation.
That has absolutely nothing.
Nothing to do with
it does, because it's a question of whether your scientists are going to politicize or not, and you accept some and not others.
To do with the conversation that we are having.
I disagree. It's a credibility.
Why would we do that when people have died and are dying? Why would we do that when people's children are being dehumanized
in this country about real things, when everything just becomes about buzzwords
or political products?
I don't understand why you're rejecting this criticism of someone's credibility.
Yeah, because I think that what matters to people in their homes is whether or not they know what immunizations their child should have, which, by the way, immunizations have saved so many lives.
I'm not disagreeing with you about that. I agree with you.
What matters to them around the world is not what words are being used
I think it does matter,
people.
Because it tells me what kind of person
it is whether or not they can trust that the guy who's making decisions about their health actually knows what a mitochondria is.
Yes. And when we focus on, imbecilic things such as that, that's why people are then subject to misinformation and disinformation, and they resort to violence, Scott. There was just it's not violence. This is not a laughing there was a shooting at the CDC.
There's attacks on ICE agents
a police officer is dead. There are people rejecting the fact that people are
now you're blaming this.
I think it is.
Scott, cherry pick these things like
we don't cherry pick.
Hold on a second, Scott. There's nobody who is justifying attacks against ICE officials. And nobody should justify or diminish somebody shooting hundreds of bullets into a workplace where people
are trying to save lives, where people are practicing public health.
So I don't understand why that would even be a comparison that you would make, honestly.
Because it's a great way to not answer the question.
Well,
excellent way.
Guys, we're way over our time here.
What question?
Thousands of doctors, hundreds of thousands of doctors who probably don't use words that you don't like, who agree on the science. The science is settled when it comes to autism and vaccines. Definitely. They have nothing to do with each other.
Definitely.
Less than 1% of scientists suggest that there might be a link.
You seem to be very angry with me. I fundamentally agree with you.
No, but why do we have to get derailed by this political BS when you could just say, that's garbage and we shouldn't politicize science?
Because some scientists are allowed to politicize things and some aren't.
No.
And it depends on your politics, and that's how
that's not true.
That is very much not true.
That's not true.
Here we are.
Thank you for saying that.
Scott made a couple points. Most Americans would not trust a person who would come out of their mouth with the term birthing person. A lot of Americans just don't want to hear from you after that. That's true. It's like you wouldn't go, like if you found out somebody was a flat earther to the bone, right? You would look at them when they start telling you how to, do certain things. You'd be like, I don't know if I trust a flat earther guy. Yeah? The guy that believes in ghosts, haunted houses and shit. Like, you're like, and I'm serious. I don't see much difference between the haunted house loving guy, the haunted house believing guy. You know what I'm saying? The guy that really believes you step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I don't see much difference between that and the person that's walking around saying birthing person instead of mom. Yeah, I don't get it. So, that's a valid point. It's always a valid point when you bring it up. And what the hell would that have to do with his resignation letter? Why would you put that in the resignation letter? And if you didn't want it publicized, you probably would have left it out. So, it just gave Scott something to say besides all the other stuff. I gotta admit that the RFK clip was damning. We need to do things for kids because when I look at kids, I can see sick. That's it. That's what we're doing. We're just looking at people and determining their health level by just looking at them. I can see if their arm's hanging off. I can see if their leg is on backwards, but like you can't do a diagnosis just looking at people. You do have to be diagnosed. You got to do, and even those aren't 100%, but RFK, who is not a doctor, says he can just look at people once he walks down the street. I guess if someone's morbidly obese, you could say that. But you don't know why. You just know that they are. Anyway, so look, man. I was one of those people that said, hey, as long as, like, look, I don't know who was the CDC guy. Like, I don't know who was the Health Human Services guy before RFK Jr. was. I have no idea. I think most of Americans doesn't know either. And just the fact that it was RFK Jr. that was running for it or was picked to be that, everyone became kind of interested. Because he was a Democrat. RFK comes from a Democratic family, well-known, storied Democratic. People called them the American version of kings and queens, right? The Kennedys. Big time, like no one else in the country is as, the story, all of it, right? With the Kennedys, it's big time, okay? So, for the way they demonize this guy, like anybody who believes that politics ain't a major role in narratives and all that stuff, look what they did to this guy. Remember, he ran as a Democrat. They wouldn't give him any airtime. He was a Kennedy. That tells me everything about the Democratic Party. And we haven't even gotten to what he's actually doing in the job, right? I'm still just talking about the fact it exposed everything about the Democrats that's disgusting about how and corrupt how they do business. Fam, it's like I can't even do a correlation between that and Black America. If you had an award show and you wouldn't let Denzel in and said he had shown he was a good enough actor to be at the award show. You know what I'm saying? Just think of that. Everyone go, this phony shit, this is horrible. What kind of award show is this? How could you not let Denzel in? How could you not let Morgan Freeman? How could you not let, I always forget her name. Not Vivica Fox. Damn. Tashina Arnold. Hey, Tashina. But you get what I'm saying. You get where I'm going with this? But see, the Democratic Party didn't let the Kennedys in. Get what I'm saying? Like the name Kennedy has social relevance. It has historical relevance in this country. And the fact the Democratic Party wouldn't even let him run fair and square. He had to leave the Democratic Party, run as an independent, still get bombasted, still get slammed. And then Trump is like, look, I'm just perfect. Y'all treated this guy so horrible. You shitted on him so badly. Come join me and bring your people with you. And now you want to complain, Abby? Now you have the audacity to complain about this guy, his job, what he's doing? He's only doing that job because of what your party did. And you helped do it. Because I don't remember you bringing RFK Jr. on the show and treating him with any respect. If you brought him on, I don't remember you being anything more than a Democratic Party hack when it came to this. And that goes for everybody. That goes for the entire cable news media across the board, Johnson. They all did it. So any complaints about why this guy has that job, if he's qualified, any of that, that's on the Democrats. And you didn't let him run against Biden or against Kamala, if you'd have treated him and Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson with a little bit, and Cenk Uygur with a little bit of freaking respect, maybe we wouldn't be here. This guy left the party. Arguably people would say, his family helped build. It don't make no damn sense. So if you look at it like that, how could you and I expect to ever get a fair shake in the Democratic Party? How can some black guy from, Prince George's County, Maryland, get a fair shake from Prince George's County school system without money in my family, without, not a war hero, how can I get a fair shake in the political system running if you won't even let RFK Jr. get a fair shake? I mean, come on, man. So we got a bunch of delusional people running around pretending that the Democrats aren't full of shit. And then you on this very panel, you have Abby Phillip and the lady that's actually, I was going to stop the tape, but I was like, let me let it keep going. This woman sat up here and she said that the NAACP is a notable this and a notable that, and we're not happy. And I'm like, who's happy with you? Who the hell is happy with you? I've been saying the NAACP need to change their name to the the Migrant Protection Organization, the LGBTQ Tranquility Zone or something. Because that's basically, and also just put Democratic Party behind your name. The NAACP is supposed to be a separate body outside of politics, and there ain't a soul on this earth with any common sense, ethics, or knowledge that would not say that the NAACP is in the back pocket, not only of the ADL, not only of Jewish organizations, but also from the Democratic Party itself, and the DCCC and the DNC. Everyone knows that. So it's her sitting up here on her, on her best preacher move, on her acting indignant, acting like she's being, trying to gaslight, and standing on that ground. That ground is soggy. I would not stand on that ground, girl. It's gonna be a stink hole. So that's a stink hole. Don't stand on that. It's a sink and a stink hole, both at the same time. But yeah, we got people that go along for the okie doke. And all I'm saying is, like, so I haven't even gotten to the nuts and bolts of the conversation, but just, Abby. Well, listen, Scott. Listen, Scott. Thank you for the ratings. Without you, I don't know where we'd be. But Scott, I don't understand it. I'm going to keep repeating myself because I'm losing the argument, whatever the argument was. And I'm going to continue to keep saying the same thing over and over, Scott, like your name, Scott. So that Scott, great Scott. Oh, Scott. No, Scott. Scott, stop. Stop, Scott. Hopscotch. Doorstop. Top notch. Food drop. Flip flop, dip dop, pip hop, hip hop, pop pop, bebop. Scott. But for Abby to be talking as if the Democratic Party, like she's saying, you're politicizing. You're politicizing. Come on, man. That's all they do on this show. And there's no real honest discussion. It's just a food fight every damn time. And the bad thing about it is Scott could be up against 5 liberals and still hold his own and basically kind of win on a technicality because you lost in the beginning. Because you can't just say, Abby can't say it, Black Lady can't say it, S.C. Cooper, whatever her name is, S.C. Coop, she can't say it. Hey, women have babies. That's it. End the conversation. Any guy who says he had a baby is not a guy. Now he wants to be a guy. He called himself a guy, but he's not a guy. This is dumb. It's dumb. And it makes people's heads spin around like poltergeist when you say it. And it makes people tune out as soon as it comes out your lips. But because Democrats can never go against their party. As much shit as they talk about Republicans going with Trump like zombies, oh, Trump. What do Democrats do? They go right behind. But not just about the leader. At least Trump had to win his election, his primary 3 times. At least Trump won the primary 3 times. Democrats follow behind Democrats who stink, who lose like this. Oh, behind Democrats that haven't won shit. They follow behind them. So that's the disconnection, fam. For a black voter out there, if you are still wrapped in, locked in, and trapped in this stupid notion that you got to be a Democrat to be a good black person, you missed the boat. If you think to be a black American, you got to be the party of Nancy Pelosi. And if you look at the Democratic Party and you think you imagine yourself that this is the party for black America, I say, how dare you put us on such a low expectation? It's not the party of black America. It's not the party of America. It's the party of migrants. It's the party of special interest groups and of donor money. That's what it's the party of. And let's not leave out war and double talk and false equivalencies and gaslighting and grandstanding and virtual signaling and a bunch of other nonsense. That's what it's the party of. And Republicans are the party of virtual signaling and nationalism and I got more bombs than you and lying to people and misusing and confusing poor white people. And just culture issues that mean nothing. Then you got the Republican Party, and that's what it is. And no amount of nonsense is going to change that coming from any of this. The CNN is a food fight. It's a political food fight. And at the end, it's just a bunch of sloppy Joe mix, tater tots on the floor, nothing, just ketchup and mustard and some Texas Pete smeared against. It's just disgusting. Applesauce, potatoes all over the place. It's just a nasty, trail of food all over everywhere. Nothing gets solved, and that's okay, because it's all about ratings. Stop, Scott. Stop, Scott. 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 Stop winning the arguments. I keep telling you, Scott. Scott, I got to invite you back because you're the only reason why this show is relevant. But, Scott, you have to stop winning. I mean this, Scott. I mean it. You have to stop winning so much. Let her win. Scott, stop doing your face like that. You're owning us just with your facial expression. Scott. Jesus, Scott. Damn it, Scott. Come back to my house for a nightcap. My husband's going to go out, and we're going to have a conversation. I'm going to put something in your drink that makes you sleepy. We're going to do you like that movie. That movie, the game where Douglas woke up in another country in a coffin. That's going to be you, Scott. That's what's going to happen to you, Scott. So you guys thought I was going somewhere better. I'm not going somewhere bad, Scott. Stop winning, Scott. Stop. All right. How's everybody doing? Are we still live? I don't know. Did they cut us off? I don't know. It's not scrolling. Anybody here? Yeah, Tobias said they're going to roofie him. That's it, Roof. That's it. Good one, Tobias. Thank you. Sherry Colberton, how you doing, fam? Good to see you. ABC Chill. Yeah, are we still connected? Are we connected? Yeah, we're connected. No, we're connected. All right. I don't know what happens with the scrolling. All right. We good? We good here, Johnson? Oh, there it goes. It's moving now. Okay, now it's moving. Thank you, Buck. Yeah, setup's different here on the comments. That's all I got for this one. Let's move on to the next segment. That was fun, though. Give it up for Abby Phillip and Scott in the mud wrestling. The World Wrestling Federation of CNN.
The Jim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.